Hey Capricorn, welcome to the Forgiving Tarot. This is your February 2026 reading for your Sun, Moon, Rising, and or Venus signs. Check out your placements to get a message that most resonates with you. I'm not telling you what to do. The Oracle's not telling you what to do. Ultimately, you have free will. Therefore, you make the best decision for you and those involved. If you're cross-watching or you yourself, Capricorn, feel that the rules are in the reverse, please reverse them, take what applies and leave what doesn't. It's a general reading, not a private reading, so it may resonate, may not resonate. Please be aware of that. Thank you for liking, sharing, subscribing, commenting, and donating. It's greatly appreciated. All right, Capricorn. That was a lot of shuffling. Start off with the Emperor. Aries. What is Aries for you? Fourth. Cap. Aqua. Pisces. Aries. Fourth. Okay. You have the Magician. Hey, Andy. Yeah, I don't know what I had, the flu, something. I mean, I'm still getting over it, but it's been not fun. Five of Swords, Nine of Cups. So this looks like trying to manifest what you want. Something happier, something that makes you feel more emotionally fulfilled. However, the challenge is the Five of Swords. I don't know if this is not allowing something to happen, if there is some sort of self-sabotage or perhaps not trusting. We'll see in a second. You have the Seven of Swords in the past. Thank you, Anne. Ten of Cups on your mind. Okay. I just keep getting the word forceful in my mind. So I don't know if you're trying to force something to happen. You might not be physically forcing it, but energetically could be a possibility. Outcome is the Three of Cups, which seems like a coming together, some sort of celebration in the end. Lots of cups and swords. I don't see any earth here, and you're an earth sign. So a lot of this is telling me that this is very much based on being up here, and it's something tied to your heart, something tied to your emotions, obviously. And I feel like it's something about control with that Emperor being there. We'll see in a second. Let's see what the Seven of Swords is. Why is the Seven of Swords in the past? I kind of get the sense of like avoiding something, like avoiding seeing something, or for some it's because the Seven of Swords can be about like lying, cheating, and whatnot, but it is also about running away or avoiding. Justice card, Libra energy, Eight of Swords, more swords, and the King of Cups. Lovers at the bottom of the deck. I'm trying to figure out exactly what this is because the way that I'm reading the cards, it doesn't make sense what I'm feeling intuitively with the card. Because it's almost looking like wanting to make something right, balanced, but it's clarifying a card of running away from that. I feel, okay, this is what I'm getting intuitively. I feel like there's a need to, I need to control this. So I'm going to have to manipulate it even if it wasn't consciously manipulated in a way, because I love this so much. My heart is tied to this so much. Nine of Pentacles, Two of Cups, and the Empress. There's almost like this desire for growth. There's like a readiness. It just seems like in the past, there's like, but I'm ready for this. I'm ready for this partnership, this collaboration, whatever it is for you in particular. Could be with an air sign, could be with a water sign. Let me see. Let me get a little more on the Seven of Swords. There's like some sort of truth that wasn't being looked at, something that was clear perhaps, or maybe some truth wasn't spoken. Four of Wands, Seven of Pentacles, the Hermit. Okay. For some of you, the issue here was loneliness, like trying to avoid loneliness. I also get the sense of like I'm getting older, like maybe even feeling like running out of time. I don't have time for this or something like that. No, I don't have time for this. More of like I'm running out of time is what I'm getting with this Hermit card. For some of you, there could be a a long-term relationship that, if this is not you, it could be the other person. Take it as it resonates. Like a long-standing relationship and kind of like feeling stuck a little bit there. Because Four of Wands, Seven of Pentacles, and then the Hermit, it kind of indicates something that's already stabilized, something that's been invested in, but there's this lonely feeling in there. And it could be with the Seven of Swords of avoiding fixing that. I don't know how to. All right, so currently you have the Magician. Why is that here? Now, somebody could have also been avoiding commitment. Now you have the Queen of Cups, Eight of Pentacles, Knight of Wands. So I like this energy here because this is coming from a place of knowing what to work on and knowing where to put your energy. And this is what you're manifesting. Hierophant at the bottom of the deck, which Hierophant can represent a marriage, a long-term commitment, structure, obedience. There's more discipline. Now, what is this Nine of Cups? Because that's why it's happening. Hermit, Two of Pentacles, Eight of Cups. There's the Ace of Swords. I think a lot of this, especially with that Queen of Cups coming up, has a lot to do with self-love. I know, cliche. Always talk about self-love. But that's the reality of it. Because I think there's this recognizing of Nine of Cups is about feeling emotionally fulfilled. Like the self feels that. It doesn't need another person. Ten of Cups. It just needs the self. And Hermit is growth, maturity, alone, introspection. Two of Pentacles can be somebody who's really busy or trying to juggle a lot at once. It's also trying to keep things afloat. And then the Eight of Cups, which is an emotional detachment or a walking away towards the Nine of Cups, like making some sort of decision. And I feel like that's what it was. Now, for some of you, what is not pouring into the cup that you are filling into, which is your own, right? You're filling into yours. And what does not add to that? I feel like this Eight of Cups is like, I'm not juggling that. I'm not allowing that to be another thing that I have to try to balance. So there's an emotional detachment, whether there's literally a walking away or letting go, or there is a step back. You know, hey Brittany. So let's see what this Five of Swords is. Why is that the challenge? Nine of Pentacles, Five of Wands, and the Four of Pentacles. Yeah, I get the sense of, I don't know, this seems a little more on the specific side. So again, may resonate, may not. And for some, I feel like the story could resonate, not just like, oh, this is fully my story. Like there's bits and pieces, like this is the other person too, and this is me. There's a struggle. I feel like Nine of Pentacles is this single card, self-made, right? Self-reliant and whatever. But then there's the Five of Wands, this conflict, this whether it's internal or external, or there's arguments or drama, some sort of chaos, and the Four of Pentacles, holding on or maybe even closed off. For some of you, there could be some sort of money issues someone is facing. I almost feel like that would be a whole nother story. I do feel like somebody struggled with something commitment wise. Let's keep going. Let me see a little more for this Five of Swords. The Two of Swords, the Queen of Wands, the Page of Pentacles, Sun. Yeah, and then you have the Ace of Cups here, because a Chariot, Ace of Cups, Ten of Swords. Something, I feel like whatever this situation is, whatever, because I'm getting more of like the lesson is to learn where what's working and what's not working. And it's not about like, oh, this is not working, I'm completely letting this go. But kind of like to let things go with the flow. Because there's something here that's not working. I just get like such a flood of like past things are interfering. And it may not be something that's very concrete. It could even just be like a feeling or like something that's subconscious that keeps interfering and it's not allowing something to open up or for someone to open up or you're not opening up. Something isn't clicking here. Why is the Ten of Cups on your mind? All right, Nine of Wands, There's the Two of Swords again and the Queen of Wands, Hangman. You could be dealing with a fire sign, Aries, Sag, Leo, or you have that in your chart, whatever. It doesn't have to be. What is that? Hangman. There's a bit of a stall. There is a stall because there is an exhausted energy with this Nine of Wands, Two of Swords. Two of Swords is kind of like ignoring the environment, could be stalemate. And then Queen of Wands is confidence, attractiveness. Because I get the sense of, if this is on your mind, this 10 of Cups, either you are dealing with kind of like, I want this 10 of Cups, but deep down, Nine of Wands, Two of Swords, Queen of Wands, there's something that's not being seen here. I don't know what it is. Why is the Three of Cups here? Actually, let's see the Emperor, because that's the overall energy. Aries, Page of Wands, King of Pentacles, Knight of Cups. And the Three of Cups. Why is that there? Page of Pentacles, High Priestess, Four of Swords. Okay. I just keep getting the sense of something needs to get back on track. The energy needs to get back on track, because if you are resonating with the story of like, oh, I want this 10 of Cups, this happily ever after, this harmony and whatnot, something within you is not allowing that, or something external is not allowing for that to happen in the current moment. And if that's happening externally, or even if it's happening internally, then it's going to happen externally. There's something there that's not being seen, that's not being looked at. And I get this sense of like wanting something, but there's almost a control over it. When the lesson is more of feeling, if you want the 10 of Cups, how do you start that in yourself? When you really, really want something and you're trying to force something or you're trying to manipulate something, even if it's with good intentions, it's not going to flow properly. It's kind of like baking a cake. I really want the cake, but the cake is still forming. Yeah, but what if I open the oven? It looks like it's ready. I want to, you know what? I'm going to put the heat a little bit higher. You're going to burn the cake. Cake is not going to be ready. There's something about needing to let it go as it needs to go. All right, but you know what? It's time to take out the cake, but the cake isn't done. Like, it didn't cook through all the way. Well, how do we fix it? Or do we start something new? You get what I'm saying? There's something here, Capricorn, or a person you're dealing with, or the situation. Something is trying to speak to you, trying to show you. And I don't think you're picking up what's being put down, or somebody is not picking up what you're putting down, is the sense that I'm getting. I just keep getting a sense of control. When something happened, And it was meant to open your eyes to something, whether it's something within you or a path that you could go down that you would resist less, if that makes sense. I feel like with this outcome, this Page of Pentacles, High Priestess, Four of Swords, this seems more like a bit of a pause and a rest and a not doing something. And in that, you actually get a sense of relaxation. You get more into the energy of attracting something that is more joyful, playful. I don't know if this is making sense, but this is what I'm getting. And if it doesn't make sense, please watch your other placements. The World, Temperance, and the Six of Cups. Yes, there is a closed, like there's a cycle that's being closed off here. And when I say a cycle, it could be like, oh, something is ending, really, or it's a lesson has been learned, or you going through something is closing the door because you are seeing things differently. There is a different approach to it. And now, with this accomplishment, the World, Temperance, something new can come out of this. And temperance also represents patience. And Six of Cups, something authentic, could be something of the past. But Six of Cups, nonetheless, is something that is, I feel like, in this sense, is more authentic, more joyous, more free flowing. King of Wands at the bottom. And that's the playful energy. Look at this king. Something, again, something is closing off. A cycle is closing off. And with that, that does bring in something that's more balanced and harmonious. Let's get a card. Now, it doesn't have to be, oh, this relationship is ending. It could be. But that's not what it means. It just means that, like I said, an old belief or an old belief or an old energy that you were in is closing off. What is the advice for Capricorn? I get for some of you also, you're needing to take a hold of what you can control that belongs to you. Because I can also see that some of you are trying to manifest something that does feel better, that feels more harmonious, that feels more aligned with you. But you know that feeling of like, you know what? If everyone just cooperated with what I just said, things would go better. You know that feeling? That feeling needs to go to the wayside because it's not about, oh, my external environment needs to change. What is it that I have to change? What is it that I can control? You know, kind of like that serenity prayer. All right, something just fell. Let me grab that. Perfection. That's funny. That is funny that I said that. So perfection says Raspberry needs no makeup to accentuate her exquisite features, but she wears it anyway. She's a perfectionist. She speaks the truth at all times, believing that she's helping others by sharing her truth. While statements such as your child is overweight are honest, they make others avoid her. Lonely, she seeks the advice of her favorite, Elderberry, who teaches her that honesty without kindness is cruelty. Her new vulnerability allows her to see the beauty in others as well as in herself. Are you being too hard on yourself and consequently on others? Begin to look for what's right and good in your world and you will see it. Where am I presently focusing? Knowing what's right and telling others about it might not be the best way of being. Keywords: uniqueness, friendship, acceptance, alienating others, feeling alienated, seeking perfection, deeply desiring love, transformation ahead. This card indicates protection and an inner conflict between wanting to look good and having compassion for others. Remain kind and unattached to an outcome. Being right and letting others know that you're right may not support the understanding you desire. So for some of you, this is exactly what I was trying to get out of this. For some of you, that sense of control, like, right, telling somebody else, well, it should be like this. There's something about also understanding that everyone has their own path and their own experience. And sometimes another person's experience with you may hurt you, but it's their own experience as well as yours. Because a lot of the times when we encounter things that we don't like, that's the purpose of it, to understand what we don't like, to figure out, for us to manifest, we need to know what we want, what we truly want concretely. Sometimes we could ask ourselves, what is it that I really want? And we could think of something vague, but we can't think of something really concrete. Like we could say, oh, you know what? I want love. Okay, well, specify what it is that you want. And you can specify and give like a list, and then the universe delivers that to you. And then you're like, man, I got that, but that situation was not really great. Well, because you gave a part of what you did want, but now you're learning what you don't want. Okay, universe. So I do still want this, and that. But this, I saw, I didn't really like that. Don't want that. So let's see. Let's say you dealt with a situation where, bro, I don't know. The guy you were involved with is very attached to his mom. I don't know, an example. And you're like, you know what? I don't really like that because he values her opinion more. She interferes a lot. I feel like the second woman in his life. So how about a man who has a good relationship with his mom, but understands that I would be number one in his life or something like that. You got what I'm saying? So perfection. Also, this card talks about, but I have really good intentions. Great, fantastic. But people, even if you have good intentions, wanting something to go a particular way or manipulating it subconsciously is not, it's still a form of not allowing something to unfold the way it needs to unfold. I'm trying to see if I can give another example. It's kind of like being an overprotective parent. You have very good intentions, you want to protect your kid and whatnot. And as your child grows up, being such an overbearing parent or a helicopter parent, as they say, either that child is going to eventually detach from you because they feel suffocated and want to live their own life, or they're going to grow up and not understand how to actually interact with the world because mommy always took care of it. Mommy protected me so much from this that I don't know. Now I have to learn on my own, and the learning on my own is actually going to make me suffer. You get what I'm saying? So I should create a t-shirt. You get what I'm saying? Because that's all I say. Capricorn, I'm going to leave it there. Um, mm. I'm going to leave it there. I think I have time. Yeah, I have time to do the Aquarius read, and I'm actually feeling up for it. I've been really wanting to do readings, but just not being able to. So I'm glad I'm getting back on that. So I'm going to jump to the Aquarius reading. Follow me there if you want to. Um, and I hope this helped, Capricorn. If it did, hit the like button. Let me know. And subscribe if you're new. Hit the like button. Already said that part. And I will catch you guys in a few minutes. Bye. You're welcome.